Okay, so except for a couple little details things, nice job generally. The reason why I heard somebody come in after in bar 12 is because one, you didn't give us a breath, and two, they were kind of the equal size. So smaller on the cutoff, bigger on the prep, but you keep going. So watch me. 1, 2, 3, bum, bum. So that needs to be big. In general, your contrast can be bigger. Just make, your fortes are great, but then when it comes down to piano, just keep them much bigger contrast. That's where you'll get your result. Nice job. Anyone? Brooke, now you get to go. It's not punishment. Think of it as a privilege. Sure. Most of the time, I think you'll want to start with 2. Yeah, start with 2 and then put it down. On the second to the last fermata? Yeah, you gave us a prep on 4 instead of 3, instead of reiterating 3. Okay, generally, nice job. I thought you were going to do one hand though after the beginning. Well, that's fine, whatever. On the fermata in bar 12, 1, 2, 3. This is generally okay. Just keep your hand moving. You came to a little bit of a stop there, and then gave us the stuff. The 1, 2, 3. No breath. And now when you go for the big prep, bum bum, give us a breath. Bum, 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 bum. Nice job on the retards. So take the pickup into bar 13. So give us a ba 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 ba, and then go from there. Pick up into bar 13. So a big prep on 4, right? With a breath. Good. The choice on the last fermata, probably not a pause. That really keeps going. He's finishing. He's already. The reason the other one's a pause is because the phrase is done. So musically, yeah. So either a continue or if you want to do it as a breath, that's fine. Singers, they probably want to make that big ending, so they might take a breath. Ba 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 ba, but right into it. Okay. Nice job. Anyone? No, I'd rather have volunteers. Who's connected already? John, Joseph, and Taylor? Okay. Aaron, you want to go? Sure you do. Before Aaron starts, just think again, maximum contrast between your fortissimo or your forte at the beginning there, and then it comes down to mezzo piano. So you want to make a huge difference in your gesture, because even when you do, your group will only respond partially to your gesture. You know, they'd rather just play at one volume all the time. And so you have to, it's like whispering and shouting. Okay. Okay, well done. Most of your patterns are exactly the same size. So can you give me like more at the beginning? Bring out that inner Aaron that's the loud, bombastic guy that I know you want to be. So can you do it from the top? And give me big, 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 and then come down to the beautiful little small pattern that you're doing. Okay? One more time from the top. I would just say there are probably some people on this side of the room that are starting also. Who else is playing the melody? Okay, so there you go. So focusing on one guy takes your hands completely away from like somebody like from my perspective, you who might be doing the melody on that side of the room. So to start with, it's good to start. I mean, if somebody's starting completely by themselves, then absolutely. But if you've got several people in the group and you've got people over here and people over here, then you're going to have to start in the middle. Oh, there was one other thing. What was it? Oh, make sure you're looking at us at the fermatas. Anytime you give us any kind of a prep or a cutoff or anything, you have to be looking at us. Okay, really nice job. That was an improvement. Just think bigger contrast, especially in the last phrase. That's the biggest, loudest part of the piece. So make it count with your gesture and give us a prep that matches that volume instead of bum bum. Make it. You just have to make it big. Bum 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 bum. If you can use your left hand a little bit less while you're just conducting a pattern and give us accents and stuff, that's something to work on to improve. And incorporate the ritardandos and the allargando there at the end. Okay? Nice job. That was good. You probably feel like you're making a huge pattern. Do you feel like you're like really being demonstrative?
A little.
Yeah, a little. I mean, it's easy to misinterpret, kind of not understand exactly what you look like when you're doing it. So It'll help to look at the video and see that the contrast isn't as marked as you probably would think you're doing. Okay? Who wants to be next? Anyone? Sean, you want to go?
I would be honored and delighted.
I thought you might. We're going to miss the tuba on this because it's so idiomatic.
It's the most.
Yeah.
All the base metal melodies in this book are just not necessarily tuba friendly.
Not necessarily what?
Tuba friendly.
Oh.
I don't like playing B flats on the staff this early.
Oh, no, I understand. You could probably take most of those down if you want. Okay, really pretty good. Your last prep for the fortissimo was great. I mean, that really was indicative of what you wanted us to do next. So that was fine. The cutoff in bar 12, it worked out. But if you give us a little bit smaller cutoff, doesn't have to be big. And make sure you're looking at us when you do that breath and prep, because you look down at that point. But really very nice. I like the contrast. If you want to use your left hand a little bit less for your patterns and give us those accents, because I can see you know where they go. That'll really help emphasize them. Let's see. What was it? How'd you feel about it? Was there any of these places where you are?
Going into bar 5, I got a little tripped up on my own.
Why don't you take the pickup into bar 5?
Can I start at the beginning?
Sorry?
May I start at the beginning?
Sure. Start at the beginning. One second. You realize you're giving us a little prep for your prep? So you're starting up before you go out. So just go straight out. There you go. Upbeat for that last note, because it needs to be big, so you don't be afraid to go bop, 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 and pull your hands up, and come down really hard. But that was great. Much better, nice improvement. Good. Madeline, how about you? Your prep at the beginning there was perfect that time. It's probably one of those things that you probably don't realize you're doing, is giving a little bit of a prep for your prep.
Okay.
Slight tendency on all of them. make sure you're looking at us when you, especially when you give us our note. You looking up for the prep and then you look down right away. Okay, really pretty good. More contrast between your patterns would be great. And you're starting to have, you're consistently kind of stopping around the beat instead of keeping your hand going, especially in the legato patterns or in this, or the more legato patterns as opposed to the marcato. It needs to be much more flowing instead of bum, bum, dun, bum, a little bit too jerky. On the marcato, even though it's a straight rebound and you're going over to the other pattern in a straight fashion, they still need to bounce up off of the ictus, right? Just do a little bit of the and the thing in bar 12, there's no pause. So you go right on into the next beat after your cutoff. Think of your cutoff as another iteration of 3, right? So 1, 2, 3, 3, 4, bum, bum. So 3, 3, 3, 4, bum, bum. And again, make sure you're looking at us when you do anything that deviates from the basic pattern, where you're going to make a change, style, dynamics, or you're going to ask us to hold or something. Make sure you're looking up there. From the top, one more time. Now smooth it out. Okay, really very good. Good job. Even more contrast in your patterns would be great. You got the one in bar 12. Let's see. Which one was, the very last one. Bum, 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 bum. It's either a cut breath, bum, 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 but don't stop there. Don't come to a complete stop. You can keep on going if you want. Bum, 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 bum. Or the breath, but don't pause. Let's see. Much better. Did you feel better about the pattern? Because it looked much different and much better. Okay, very nice. Yay. You just need to be less self-conscious about being up there. I know you're basically not a loud, bombastic person, but if you're standing in front of a group, they're not going to make fun of you if you're doing stuff that makes sense to the music. You know what I mean? Yeah, so it's okay. Ben, how about you? Let's see, so we just have Natalie, you, and Leah, who hasn't conducted yet. We're doing well.
20 minutes.
Yeah, lots of time.
Maybe more people will show up.
Yeah, well, Can't believe people aren't here. Although, yes, I can. Yep. Shh, here we go. One more time. Turn your hand over. You're totally sideways here.
Oh, sorry. I didn't.
Huh? No, that prep in the entrance was good, but keep going. Nope, so you don't, there's no cutoff there. And be sure you're looking up. Be sure you're looking at us. All through the opening. Wait a second. So how does that really go? We were expecting a little bit longer hold there for one thing, and the fact that we kept on going after your cutoff, that was our fault. But it really wasn't the way I think you want to interpret that. Da 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 da, that goes on, and then this is a small cutoff, and then a big breath on the next beat with a continuation.
Okay.
So you also gave us a little bit of an indication that we were going to get louder in the phrase that starts at the top of 9. So start with the pickup into bar 9 and give us an indication that this is actually a piano phrase coming up.
Gotcha.
Here we are. Pick up into bar 9. Whoa! You're going to have to give us a prep on 3, right? Because we're not on 4. Start there. We need another prep on 3. So in the last one, either a whole continue, bum, 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 bum. In either case, you're going to have to go out on 3, or you can give us a breath, bum, 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 bum. But in either case, you've got to go out. Really nice pattern at bar 9. I like that. It was kind of bouncy and fun. On the hold on the fermata in bar 12. So explain to me what you need to do on that one.
Hold 3 and then pause.
No, there's no pause. You got to give us a breath with your cutoff. That's the cutoff equals breath, but then you hold off on giving us a breath until that prep on 4. Bum, 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 bum. You know, like it would be just as if you're playing. 1, 2, and 3, and you cut off. Now you watch and you breathe with the conductor's breath. Bum, bum. Make sense?
Yeah.
Okay, so just do it from the top one more time, please. Start right there. Good, up to that point. Good. Maybe make a mark for yourself. Which one do you want to do? You want to do the whole continue or you want to do a breath? Do a breath? Okay. So, do you have...
Do the prep on 3 if I...
Yeah, and that's your breath too. Ba, 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 ba. Ba, ba, ba. It's just like, is there another one in here like that? Well, no. That's what makes it unique. But real good up to that point. Just do the last phrase. Pickups into bar, whatever that is, 15, 16, 17. Pick up into 17. Good. So your breath comes with your cutoff. Bum, 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 bum. Bum, 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 bum. I think you actually breathed with us when we played a note.
Yeah.
But really very good. And don't be afraid of this gesture. That's great. So if you're going to do it like you did going into bar 5, give it to us and so we can see it and do it purposefully, you know. Bum, 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 ba-dee, bum, 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 ba-dum, bum, ba-dum. It could be very effective. And you did it again in the next phrase, and that was great. So keep that up, okay? That's good. Yeah, very nice. Natalie? Oh, and then we'll do 2 Natalies in a row. I like that.
And then Rachel.
And then a Rachel. And that's it, isn't it? Okay, real good. You can make a little more contrast for me. But there, I saw you were making the contrast, but it's probably not as big as you think it is. Good job on bar 12. That's a toughie. Make note of the retards, especially the one on the very last phrase. It just needs to come down just a little bit. But biggest of all, make sure you're looking at us when you're giving those preps for our next entrance. When you go into the fermata, make sure you're giving us a nice ictus on the 1 because I can tell that you're already thinking ahead to, I have to do a hold, so I'm going 1, 2, 1, 2, and now it just kind of eases into it without much of an ictus. So 1, 2, 3. Still give us that beat so we know exactly where. And then when you come off of it and go into the next phrase, make sure that's where you have had a tendency to look down a little bit just to make sure where you were. I know. But you got to see your eyes there. Do you want to do any part of it again? I tell you what, do it from the top and show me a big contrast between, a little bit bigger at the beginning and a little bit smaller for the second 4. Okay, so that's a good place to be really emphatic with your prep and your first note. So, bum, because it's forte, right? Good. Great. Do the last phrase and do that allargando, can you? And you could probably pause a little bit more there in bar 14. It really should be a caesura. Ba, 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 ba. Bum, bum. Make sure you're looking at us when you're giving us your prep too. Your breaths, you tend to look down. Just the last phrase. Bum, 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 bum. Pickups into bar, what is it, 16? 17. Pickups into 17. That's it. Very good. Again, make sure you're looking up at us when you're giving those preps and stuff. Bigger breath. Okay, good. Nice contrast. I love your marcato. It's really nice. Again, the last phrase, there's a couple of retards that you could do just a little bit more with, especially in the last one. Watch that you're looking up at us for your preps. Once you hold your fermata, you're doing great. And then when you cut off or you're looking down, you should see what's coming next. Wait to do that and have it in your mind what you need to do so you don't have to look down. Nice contrast. Good job with those. Marcato could be a little bit sharper. And let's see. Oh, you know what you did in bar 12 probably.
Yeah.
What did you do? Do you remember?
I took a breath on 3 instead of on 4.
You breathed when you cut us off. Yeah, you went 1, 2, 3 instead of there. Yeah, that's right. Real quick, just do bar 12. Can you start at bar 12? No pickup or anything. Just start right there. Bum bum ba-dum, and take it out from there. Right on 1. Regular prep on 4. Nope. One more time. Yeah, the cut. So it's 1, 2, 3. Now 3 again on the cut, and now 4. Boom. 1, 2, 3. Just do 3 over. 3, 4, and there's the breath on 4. Make sure you give us a nice ictus on the note that's the fermata instead of what I saw was bum bum ba da. See, there's no beat there. Bum bum ba da. Here's what I want. Bum bum ba da. See there, little ictus right on 3. So we know exactly where it is. Great. Okay, go ahead and do the same thing. Go bar 12. That part's really slow. So at the very end, take it slower. Good. Make sure your eyes are up for your preps, and you're looking at us when you either start us or stop us. Great job in bar 12. Good. Okay. Right there. Always good to get the yawn out of the way before you get on the podium. A little smaller. Again, that last phrase should be slow. Everybody got that? Bum, bum, bum. You give me a big thing on the end. Good. You can make a little bit more contrast between your marcatos and your legatos. I like to see a little balance here. And you have a tendency to go up maybe a little bit too high on your pattern. Thinking more. I think you're thinking more arm than wrist, which has kind of been consistent.
Yeah.
So a little more wrist than arm. Let's see. Good job on the fermatas. Those were all very good. Mostly just the contrast in the dynamics and the styles. Okay? Good. Very nice. Anybody want to do it again? Because we got time for... Anybody? Oh, I'm sorry, Leah. I'm so sorry.
Our last person of the day.
Yeah. I would encourage you to use just one hand for this. I really don't want to see you mirror the whole time. We kind of left that behind a few weeks ago. So work on it and bring in your left hand for emphases.
Yeah, like these.
Yep. Exactly. So you shake your head. What did you think you did on the last one? Well, you kind of breathed just before and you kind of took us through instead of that sudden breath. Yeah, but I mean, really, it was overall very nice job. The marcato's really good. Might be able to make the other ones a little bit smaller and smoother, but that was a nice contrast. Got through the fermatas really nicely. There was one other time where it looked like you weren't happy with what you did. Do you remember where it was? Was it in bar 12? Because that was really pretty good.
Yeah, I don't remember.
Yeah, and you made a lot of the dynamics too. That was great. Really good. Anything else that you were not particularly?
Did I take my breath in the right place at 12?
I'm sorry?
Did I take my breath in the right place at 12?
Yes, in 12. Yeah, you did. Absolutely right. Okay, that's it. If you want me to, I'll conduct this so it's on the video. Anybody?
Yes, please.
Okay. Here, hold on one second. Let me.
We got a minute. I'll conduct this so you got it on the video. Ready?
Thank you.